All right, man. So we checking in right now with matter of fact, you can introduce yourself, man. Give the people your introduction, your hometown. Who am I talking to?
Man, it's God Jani, um, holding it down. Born in Boston, DMV repping, you know what I mean? Waldorf, Maryland is where I grew up. Been in DC 8 years now. Love the culture. Put on for the culture, put on for the city, put on for the area. And that's me. I'm a musician. I'm an artist, songwriter. Um, yeah, I'm a alternative rapper. I'm a rapper. You know, all kinds of stuff now. It's just trippy shit.
I feel it, man. So got to tell them what we're here for. You know, we here for you dropping a new project this week, Blue Infinity. I got the opportunity to listen in a couple of the tracks, and yeah, man, experimental hip hop is what I could say. This really falls under its own genre, even though you got some rap, some singing, some hardcore beats, some smooth stuff. I haven't heard the whole thing. I'm excited, and pretty much, like, what does Blue Infinity mean to you? Like, what kind of concepts should the listeners be looking for when they experience your music?
So when I think of Blue Infinity, you know, a while back I was introduced to what the color meant, light blue, sky blue, by doing this color test that I actually was administering for somebody. Ended up doing it. It was dope, you know. And essentially, what it means to me, man, is when you look in the sky, and you see that hint of sky blue up there with the clouds. And when I looked up there, and I always just see no limits, you know what I mean? And, you know, on the ground level out here, it's a lot of, you know, problems and issues that people deal with. When I look in the sky, I see nothing but space. I see clarity, I see freedom. And that's what Blue Infinity means to me.
Word. So the ideas and the concepts were kind of, you know, right there in your answer, I guess. And you let people know the inspiration that it gives you, and you know what it means to you, and you know what type of as an independent artist, you know, you're a working independent artist, and I feel like you've put some investment and some real hard time into your work. You know, what type of advice would you give, you know, to any other independent artist?
Man, I feel like you gotta fight, man. You gotta fight to do your art. We're in a day and age where you gotta fight to do your art. You know what I mean? From the studio time to the engineering to the, you know, those days where you're staying up late. You know what I mean? So I think independent artists need to remember that, and don't just sit there and be comfortable with being a basement artist. You know, somebody wants to hear your story, and you know, there's a lot of underground artists that I personally like, and I feel like if they, you know, if they said, oh, because I'm not on, or if they just, you know, chilled in the cut, I wouldn't have heard them. So I think every independent artist has a responsibility to do whatever it takes to get their voice heard. And I feel like all that lazy, all that I'll wait, you know, to do this, or I need the money first, that's for the losers. You know what I mean? So for the independent artist trying to really get it, do whatever you gotta do. Even if that means rapping in your, you know, in any condition that you may be in now, you gotta fight, and you gotta do whatever it takes step by step. So all my artists out there independent, you gotta go hard. Make sure that your competition around you sees, you know, knows. You gotta know from within, these niggas ain't working as hard as me. That's what it's about right now. So.
Word. So grind up. That's
Grind
pretty much
up.
the essential. Grind up. As an independent artist, you got to work 2 times, 3 times as hard.
Exactly.
It looks like the mainstream artists. No, they working hard by every instance and by any means necessary.
Yeah, they already there.
They're there though. Exactly. You know.
We ain't even there, so it's like, you know, it's like.
If you got your goals, you got to work hard towards them.
Yeah, ain't no time to be comfortable, man.
And with that, you know, you got to take motivation and inspiration from a lot of things. What would you say was your, you know, motivation during the recording phase of this project? And, you know, what inspired you in it? I see you got the Lord willing, you know, inspired T with the aliens on it, man. Big ups Eclipse, for real, legendary. That's what it looks like it's inspired from. I don't know what the artist was doing right there, but it looks like the Lord willing take.
Yeah, this is the, you know,
album was great, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, my inspiration came from all the bullshit. That's what pushes me. That's where my passion comes from. Like, if I didn't have the bullshit, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even have enough steam probably to get this tape done. I feel like as an artist, man, you have a story to tell, and that's what drove me in this tape. You know, you'll hear it in there, the grind, the hunger, the wanting to get to the other side. I truly feel like, you know, that's what pushed me, because, you know, I'm tired of waiting. You know, I'm ready to give it real, and I'm tired of all the bullshit in society and all the lies and all the fuck shit that's holding niggas back. So what inspired me to do this was just to say, fuck that. You know, I'm speaking for the person who's the outcast, the person who's a rebel, the person who dealt with hate or pushback from the universe, and it's like, look, man, it's time to show them what you're really about. So this is what I'm really about, and we just getting started. You know, that's how I feel.
Word, you know, I like that idea, and that, you know, be the point that drives you, because it's you right at the phase where people are excited about their work. They done put in time, and the project is about to drop, and you just in that phase getting ready to market it, you know, transition into the phase of promotion. And it's a good feeling when you complete a project, whether it's small, large, you know, medium size, whatever it is to you. You know, understand what it is to complete something. So it's like, you know, we ain't gonna talk about what's next and what's coming up, but, you know, Blue Infinity's about to drop. So yeah. I feel like it's enough right now to, you know, spread this to the world and give people a piece of what you got coming. Cause I don't even know what you got coming. You know,
we got shit coming, bro. You know, I got a lot of collabos coming. I got a lot of you know, different music that's gonna be dropping. You know, different sounds from R&B to alternative rock. So I'm really looking forward to showing my diversity of having fun. You know, now that this tape is done, you know, it took a lot of time. We worked on this, and now I'm ready to get back into the creative phase. We already have been working, but I'm ready to keep doing that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to link with some dope artists.
Yeah, man, it seems like you're pretty tapped in with the independent side, and, you know, with that we could go into like a question with what musicians, you know, what type of music, you know, do you listen to that inspires you, and, you know, what type of artist would, you know, say gives you that creative, you know, push or direction when you're looking for a little bit of inspiration to get in the studio?
Exactly. Yeah. So growing up, what pushed me, man, I grew up to reggae, I grew up to R&B, I grew up to hip hop. I love hip hop. From Bob Marley to Tupac, to Kanye, to the Lupes, that's one aspect that always touched me, because these were people who were able to make music and rap, but at the same time, it was almost some spiritual. You know what I mean? It was almost as if it was more than music, and that's what I think made them so powerful as artists, and so that's what drives me. Outside of that, I love a lot of underground artists, you know what I mean? From artists like Ethereal, you know, and artists on the west side, Polyester, like the Saint, niggas, you know, Dom, shit that makes me vibe out. You know, it's so much music I like, so it's just like Erykah Badu, you know, I'm influenced by soul. I consider my music like underground soul.
Underground soul, word. Underground soul. I'd say, like, yeah, underground soul is something where right now you can create any type of genre of music you want, man, with just the I guess there's no limits. Like you said earlier in this conversation, it's no limits. You look in the sky and see no parameters on your movement and no limitations to your actions. You know, you could create anything, man.
Exactly.
You know, that genre, you know, underground soul, like I said experimental hip hop, but that's already done. People already be experimental in their hip hop, you know, craft and artistry. So underground soul is like a take on your I guess common feel of a soul artist, but giving you that grittiness of an underground, you know, musician that's still coming out the gates, still really hungry to, you know what I'm saying, just get it. So I feel like that's a good, you know, essence to have when you putting your music out there. It's like staying in touch with the people that are trying to get it and striving to be the best and striving to be great, but also being in tune, you know, with great musicians in the mainstream, because mainstream music, it's not always the best, but it's always something you can take from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the hustle mentality of a mainstream musician is unmatched.
Yeah, it's unmatched.
It's unmatched. The way they have to work, you know, to hit shows and schedules, and some independent artists, you know, they may be scared of that, but it's like when you want it bad enough, you know, you train yourself for that type of work.
Exactly.
You know, you try to, you know, eat it up as best as you can. So I see you doing it, you know.
Yeah, we working, bro. We working, and that's all we do.
It's all I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? Life is, that's what we do. Lifestyle.
Shit.
Lifestyle.
Word, man. So I feel like we could have played a little bit of snippets on here, but I may have you crack a freestyle, man. Man, may have to have you freestyle for the people, show you how organic it is, man. Like you can't spit no Blue Infinity freestyle. I mean verses. You gotta be straight, off the dome. Let's see what kind of beats we could find. We may have to take a little break, go through the iTunes, pull something out the archive.
Yeah.
You feel me? Do something nice for the people just to let them know what type of artist you are and what you coming with. Because, I know I'm sold, but this for the people, man. Blue Infinity is a new introduction to God Jani.
Blue Infinity, man. God Jani, my first debut project. Shout out, if you don't know my old music, Surreal, Will Off G's, all that good stuff. This is the next phase, God Jani. Blue Infinity coming May 8th. I really hope you enjoy it. And spread the word, man. We hope you putting on for the DMV. Shout out to all my peoples on the west side that helped me with the project. And we here. You know what I mean? We here.
Alright, man. Scofflaw Media,
Scofflaw.
man. New
Shout out
teams, man. We
Scofflaw.
checking out.
That's the team.
Yeah, man. Heavy affiliate. God Jani coming through to really bless the people, man, and bless right here this platform that we got. Tapped in with the underground, man. Like I said, we all coming from where we come from, but we going big places. Big things. Spreading our wings, man.
Yeah,
So
we'll see y'all motherfuckers at the top, man.
boom.